for you, and 1 part for the one who has eaten the heart of the lamb." "Oh, I ate that," replied Brother Mary, and quickly pocketed the gold. "You can believe me." "How can that be true?" said the Holy Peter. "A lamb doesn't have a heart." "Hey, brother, where are you thinking? A lamb has a heart just like any other animal. Why shouldn't it have one?" "Well, it's okay," said the Holy Peter. "Keep the gold alone. But I won't stay with you anymore and will go my own way." "As you wish, dear brother," replied the soldier. "Farewell." So the Holy Peter went down another road, but Brother Mary thought, "It's good that he's leaving, he's such a peculiar saint." Now he had enough money, but didn't know how to handle it, wasted it, gave it away, and after a while, he had nothing again. Then he came to a land where he heard that the princess had died. "Holla," he thought, "this could be good. I will revive her and have it paid for in a way." So he went to the king and offered to bring the dead back to life. Now the king had heard that a retired soldier was traveling around and making the dead alive again, and thought Brother Mary was this man. But because he didn't trust him, he asked his counselors first, but they said he could take the chance since his daughter was dead anyway. So Brother Mary had water brought in a kettle, made everyone leave, cut off the limbs, threw them in the water and made a fire under it, just as he had seen the Holy Peter do. The water began to boil and the meat fell off. He took out the bones and put them on the table, but he did not know in what order they should be laid, and he laid everything in the wrong order. Then he stood in front of it and said, "In the name of the Holy Trinity, dead man, rise up," and said it 3 times, but the bones did not move. Then he said it 3 more times, but to no avail. "You lightning girl, rise up," he cried, "rise up, or it won't go well for you." When he said that, the Holy Peter suddenly appeared in his previous form, as a retired soldier, and walked in through the window, saying, "You godless man, what are you doing? How can the dead rise when you have thrown their bones all over the place?" "Brother, I did it as well as I could," he answered. "This time I will help you out of trouble, but I'll tell you this, if you ever do something like this again, you will be unlucky and you are not allowed to demand or accept anything from the king." Then the Holy Peter laid the bones in the correct order, spoke 3 times to it, "In the name of the Holy Trinity, dead man, rise up," and the king's daughter rose up, was healthy and beautiful as before. Then the Holy Peter went out through the window again. Brother Lucky was glad that everything had gone well, but was still upset that he was not allowed to accept anything. "I'd just like to know," he thought, "what he has in his head, because what he gives with one hand, he takes with the other. There is no sense in it." The king then offered Brother Lucky anything he wanted, but he was not allowed to take anything, but he managed to bring it about by implication and cunning that the king filled his backpack with gold, and with that he left. When he came out, the Holy Peter was standing at the gate, saying, "Look what kind of person you are. Didn't I forbid you to take anything, and now you have the backpack full of gold?" "What can I do about it?" replied Brother Lucky, "if it is put in for me? I'll tell you this, that you don't try this kind of thing again, otherwise things will go badly for you." "Oh, brother, don't worry, now I have gold, why should I bother with washing bones?" "Yes," said the Holy Peter, "the gold will last a long time. So that you do not go down the wrong path again, I will give your backpack the power to have everything you wish for inside. Farewell, you will not see me again." "God be with you," said Brother Lucky, and thought, "I'm glad you're leaving, you strange lunatic, I won't follow you." However, he did not think further about the magic power that had been given to his backpack. Brother Happy traveled with his gold and squandered it as before. When he only had 4 kreuzers left, he passed a inn and thought, the money must go, and got wine and bread for 3 kreuzers. As he sat and drank, the smell of roasted geese came to his nose. Brother Happy looked and saw that the innkeeper had 2 geese in the oven. Then he remembered that his comrade had told him what he wanted in his knapsack, it should be there. Holla! You have to try it with the geese. So he went outside and at the door he said, I wish for the 2 roasted geese from the oven into my knapsack. When he said that, he opened it and looked inside, both of them were there. Oh, that's right, he said, now I am a made man, went away to a meadow and took out the roast. While he was eating, 2 journeymen came along and looked hungrily at the 1 goose that had not been touched. Brother Happy thought, with 1 you have enough, called the 2 apprentices and said, take the goose and eat it on my health. They thanked him and went into the inn, got half a wine and bread, unpacked the gift goose and began to eat. The innkeeper watched and said to her husband, the 2 were eating a goose. See if it's not one of ours from the oven. The innkeeper ran over, but the oven was empty. What, you gang of thieves, do you want to eat geese so cheaply? Pay up now, or I'll wash you with green hazelnut juice. The 2 said, we're not thieves, a retired soldier gave us the goose outside on the meadow. You're not going to twist my nose, the soldier was here, but went out as an honest man. I was watching him. You were the thieves and should pay. But since they could not pay, he took the stick and beat them out the door. Brother Funny went his way and came to a place where there was a magnificent castle and not far from it was a poor inn. He went into the inn and asked for a night's lodging, but the innkeeper rejected him and said, there is no room left, the house is full of noble guests. That takes me by surprise, said Brother Funny, that they come to you and not go to the magnificent castle. Yes, the innkeeper replied, there is something about spending a night there, whoever tried it has not come out alive. If others have tried it, said Brother Funny, I will also try it. Leave it alone, said the innkeeper, it will be the death of you. It will not be the death of me immediately, said Brother Funny, just give me the keys and good food and drink. Now the innkeeper gave him the keys, food, and drink, and Brother Funny went to the castle, enjoyed the food, and when he finally became drowsy, he lay down on the ground, because there was no bed. He soon fell asleep, but in the night he was awakened by a great noise and as he rallied, he saw 9 ugly demons in the room. They had formed a circle around him and danced around him. Brother Funny said, now dance as much as you want, but don't come too close to me. But the demons always pressed closer to him and stepped almost in his face with their nasty feet. Be still, you devilish ghosts, he said, but they continued to drive him. So Brother Funny got angry and shouted, hey, I will soon bring peace. He grabbed a chair leg and struck right in. But 9 demons against 1 soldier was too much, and as he hit the front ones, the others grabbed him from behind by the hair and pulled him miserably. Devil's pack, he cried, now it's getting too much for me. But wait. All 9 in my backpack. Suddenly, they were all in it, and he fastened it and threw it into a corner. Suddenly it was quiet, and Brother Funny lay down again and slept until the bright morning. Now the innkeeper and the nobleman, who owned the castle, came to see how he had done. When they saw him healthy and lively, they were amazed and asked, did the ghosts not harm you? Why not? Replied Brother Funny, I have all 9 of them in my backpack. You can inhabit your castle again without fear, no one will haunt it anymore from now on. Once upon a time, a nobleman thanked him and richly gifted him, asking him to stay in his service and provide for him for the rest of his life. "No," he replied, "I am used to wandering, I want to move on." So the happy brother left, entered a blacksmith's shop, and laid the knapsack containing the 9 demons on the anvil and asked the blacksmith and his assistants to strike. They hit with all their might with their big hammers, making the demons scream miserably. When he opened the knapsack later, 8 were dead, but one, who had sat in a crease, was still alive, slipped out and returned to hell. The happy brother traveled around the world for a long time, and whoever knows could tell much about it. But eventually, he grew old and thought about his end, so he went to a hermit who was known as a pious man and said to him,